Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. All right, so Shay Sade did a video giving a compilation of all of these TikToks about black girls that are being mistreated by white guys. I have my take on it. It's not going to be the take that you probably expect, but it is my take nonetheless. But before I get into that, let me go ahead and do the short of the day. I'm going to make this a quick video. Go ahead and do the short of the day or the TikTok of the day. Hit the like button, will you? Thank you. All right.
Because I'll be watching podcasts and just content on TikTok, Instagram. When y'all hear a man say they want a wife that is nice, that's kind, that's this, why do y'all be like, narcissist, misogyny, you want a slave? Why you want to be a devil and a demon so bad? Why you want to partner with demons so deeply? The traits that these men are asking for, I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about the ones that I've seen, are the traits you should have and be working on anyways as a daughter of God. So you telling me because a man is saying, I would like for my wife to submit, I would like my wife to be kind, I would like her to be nurturing, I want her to be flexible, I want her to be open. Do you read your word? I'm just saying, if you disagree with those traits, you probably want to walk away from God too. I think I'm getting convinced that women don't like God.
Okay. I found this one last minute. And yeah, I think that really because society is becoming less and less religious and more focused on itself, I think that a lot of people have convinced women that equality means that there is no hierarchy, which is a contrast to men. So, for example, when they made the Declaration of Independence and said, all men are created equal, men still followed a hierarchy. They still fought under George Washington. They still, fought for the founding fathers. They still elected their leaders and they still had leaders in their day to day lives. And there wasn't this just, oh, I'm not going to follow any type of leadership in the household or outside the household. The only person or the only entity that I surrender to now is the almighty dollar. That's where we're at now. And that's what society has convinced them to do. And it's the people with the almighty dollar that convince women that that is more important than family and their own best interests. The way that they were able to convince them of that is they cashed in on their stupidity. They banked on their stupidity and won. Now, speaking of stupid, we have a compilation video by Shay Sade. Now, this time I took the liberty of downloading it because StreamYard buffers and I'm sick of it. So hopefully this will give better results while I give y'all a chance to hit the like button. All right. So why does it keep doing that? All right.
As a black woman who has dated white men in the past, these are some of the things that I've faced and heard in my relationship.
Okay, by the way, shout out to Shay Sade. If you're not subscribed to her, go ahead and consider doing so. She always comes with the best edits. I was going to close this topic, but she did this video. It was too good to ignore. So here I am responding. When I see videos like this about swirling, et cetera, I always notice a trend, and that is that the woman tends to be more attractive than the man. She's more pretty than the man is handsome by a wide margin. And also, there doesn't appear to be a significant wealth gap. Meaning it's okay for a woman who, like Ivanka Trump or something like that, like these situations make sense. Or any of Elon Musk baby mamas, those situations make sense. But when you met him at the job, y'all both work in a mailroom or something like that, and you just are significantly prettier than he is handsome, then that means that it's done for a reason other than you're probably not holding him to the same bar as a black man. So I'm wondering, this woman here, who I don't really deem to be very attractive, I'm wondering how much less attractive her dude is. I am curious about that.
Dated white men in the past. These are some of the things that I've faced and heard in my relationship. One of them, my first white boyfriend always made comments about my hair, especially when I changed it. Or maybe it was just like getting it done. I was wearing weaves, and I remember the first time he touched it, he was just like, oh. I got really insecure about it, and so I would never let him touch my hair, whether it be physical or just spending time. He'd be like, I don't understand why you have to wear fake hair. I was like, this isn't fake, it's human.
My mother-in-law calls me that black thing.
Wow. Okay, so before we dress into her mother-in-law calling her a fat black thing, which is exactly what I would call my son's wife if he was to bring home something like that, to be perfectly honest. However, let's talk about this for a second. Apparently, she gets on here, and I know that the sob music is Shay Shardae's doing, not hers. But really, that's your sad story? No man likes weave. That's why you don't have one right now. At some point, you have come to the realization that weave is not something that's embraced by any ethnicity of men. Why in the world would a man want somebody else's hair sewed into his woman's head? He would be better off finding the woman who grew the hair naturally in some type of Indonesian village or something like that and marry her for like 1/1000th of the cost it costs to marry you. So at some point she wisened up, but it's funny because I think that with her in this particular instance, she's upset because she probably jumped the fence. I don't know if she jumped the fence. Some people just interracially date. Some people do it with malice because they are trying to, shed the skin of the previous group of men. But I think at some point she realized that it's not the men, it's the hair. And that's why she's grown out her dreads. Hit the like button.
I got really insecure about it, and so I would never let him touch my hair when we were being physical or just spending time. He'd be like, I don't understand why you have to wear fake hair. I was like, this isn't fake, it's human.
My mother-in-law calls me that black thing. When I'm out and about with my stepkids, people think I'm their nanny. And my stepkid's stepdad calls my husband an N lover. I am losing it. What do you...
Okay. Her whole family dynamic is trash. Let me see if I understand what's going on properly. Her mother rightly calls her a fat black thing because she is a fat black thing. Her mother-in-law. Her mother is probably also a fat black thing, so she wouldn't be in a position to criticize. But her mother-in-law calls her a fat black thing. When she takes her stepkids out, people assume that she's the nanny. Now that's something that kind of makes me believe that she's not American. But she does have like a old-timey mammy look about her. To where I could see that happening in the 50s, but now nannies are typically Latin. So she don't really fall under any current stereotypes. But maybe she's in London or something. Maybe she's in England or something like that. Who knows? So yeah, so she married a guy with kids, a guy who likely is even less handsome than she is pretty, even though that's hard to be. She married a guy with kids, and so she said that her kid's stepfather, meaning that her kid's mother's husband, calls the father of his stepkids N-word lover. Now, think about that for a second. There's always going to be some type of competition and jealousy going on, and induced jealousy. What's induced jealousy? That's when you are trying to make the other person jealous. I have done this in the past. I am guilty of this. There is a certain sensation of ending a relationship, whether she ends it or you, finding someone hotter and better in every way, and then presenting this hotter, better in every way person to your former lover. There is a thrill that goes with that. It is undeniable and unmistakable. He didn't do that. He does not have that thrill. No matter who his wife was, his wife's new husband always have the one up on him. There's nothing that in their circle, there's nothing he can say about the dude that married the mother of his children that is worse than what he is calling him. There isn't. It is the ultimate down, even if the new woman is, because this is probably a childless woman. This is probably a childless woman who married a man with kids. And the stepfather was probably a childless man who married a woman with kids. Now, that would be an L. However, he took the L to a whole new level. It's like, yeah, but your wife. And that's what it comes down to. It is an L. And the way that a lot of B-dubs make up for that L is by being significantly prettier than the man is handsome. If she was significantly prettier than he was handsome, then dude wouldn't have a leg to stand on. See, they don't say that when these dudes marry like a Tika Sumpter or something like that, or Eve. They don't get that label. They only get it when the woman looks like this. Hence why the only time you see these relationships in abundance is once again when the woman is significantly prettier than she is handsome. She has to make up for that L. Now, typically, what she's doing is she is absorbing the L, meaning that she's taking the L in place of him. But that's a whole nother can of worms. Not going to get into that. And she ain't got no damn hair.
You think I should do? So I've married into a racist family. The only thing is that my husband isn't racist. He defends.
Number two, if you are a black person and you have a non-black partner, okay, go ahead and get the phone, get their phone right now. Family group chat, whatever. Check your name and put the N-word. The 9-letter one, the 5-letter one. Go ahead, put it. Add the.
I don't know what the 9-letter one is. I had to count on my hands just now what the 6-letter one was, but yeah, I don't know what the 9-letter one is. So, maybe somebody can email that to me. Now, somebody said something interesting about the last woman. It says she looks like she was a fetish job. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting because, as I said, she does fit the aesthetic of a stereotype of the 50s. A woman who cooks and, we all know this, the mammy stereotype. I didn't know that was a fetish. but everything's a fetish. So yeah, she looks like them chicks Austin be posting. Dang, you are cold. I gotta put that on the screen. You are cold.
Grito Negrita in there, add monkey in there, search monkey, search watermelon, just search all the racist terms in there. Because it's getting crazy out here, okay? It's getting insane.
I have an ex, and he's white. So I feel like, you know, just make your conspiracy theories and think about how it's gonna go, la 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 la. Basically, he popped back into my life like a few days ago.
Black women are way too comfortable in their bonnets. They're way too comfortable in their bonnets. And it really shows like a lack of femininity and vanity. There was a time where Black women, where women in general, but Black women in addition, would avoid being seen in certain scenarios. They only wanted to be seen by men in their best. An example of this was, I think it was like Three's Company or something like that, a TV show, some older TV show where, and I think they did an episode like this on A Different World, where, you know, that mask that they put on their face at night to stop aging, you know, to avoid, you know, hitting the wall for an extra 3 weeks. So they put this on every day. They were just embarrassed when guys seen them that way. And the whole prank was, you know, I'm going to see them in their mask. I think it was one episode where the guys pranked them and then they put the mask on their face and it didn't come off. So the next day they had to go on their dates or something with the mask. So women actually were embarrassed to be seen certain ways. I did Taco Tuesday today and it was a fat chick there. Black one in a Mexican place. And I was like, wow, she has no shame. She's wearing a dress like a regular woman. She has no shame looking like this. Back in the day, you know, women like that would just hide in the house and have their skinny kids go get food for them. Like, they have no problem being seen in public at their worst.
Like maybe let's say a week ago. About a week ago. Yeah, and he played it through iMessage games, and I played the game obviously, but I was like, bro, what with laughing emojis? Okay, forget all of that. He's so odd. I was thinking, you know, maybe I like this guy again, you know. I was thinking that. I actually don't, honestly. Please someone take this man for away. He's racist. He's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like one of those people that make racism a joke. But it's like, you don't know this, bro. It's so odd.
Eventually someone's gonna take my TikTok away because I keep outing myself. But one day, years ago, I met this guy. On his profile, he looked white, it said Caucasian. And I met him in person, and we were talking. He's like, oh, your hair's really cool. Where did you next with it? And I was like, nothing. The sun? I don't know, sir. I moved it now.
Okay, y'all gonna have to excuse my hair, but
Okay. Somebody say she fine AF. Okay. What are you mixed with? The sun? I remember in high school, I asked a girl that, and her response was, and I didn't say, what are you mixed with? I said, what are you? Which is the same thing. It's just worded different. When a person is obviously a number of things. They're not a solid Oriental, African, or Caucasian. So her response was, I'm American. I was like, okay, you know. I actually was going to shoot my shot, but that response, and it's not that she was rude or anything, you know, she was polite. I just didn't have a comeback. And it just took away from the momentum of my then game. So that was pretty much that. I was like, okay, that was a witty response. I'm American. Yeah, I get it, right? And I just left it at that. Why did that last chick seem to take it personal? Like I'm mixed with the sun. What does that even mean? You mixed with the son, meaning that your father was a son of his father? What? S-U-N? So your father was Apollo and your mother was Isis? What is that? What in the world does that even mean? This is just, it seemed like she was just taking an opportunity for a smart ass retort, and she failed terribly.
I am like pissed right now. Like, let me tell y'all what happened. So I'm like talking to and
So she reminds me of the wife from American Dad, just a black version.
or dating this Hispanic dude right now. Like, you know, it's still kind of early-ish, whatever, whatever. Today, we chilling, just regular, out of nowhere. This motherfucker just like, Negro is a good word. We should really bring that back. Bitch, what?
So when I was
Okay. Here's the thing. No, Donna is from the Cleveland show. American Dad, I don't remember her name. But here's the thing about it. He's Spanish. In Spanish, the word Negro simply means black. The reason, in fact, Negro is the origin of the word because it was Portuguese who ran the slave trade. So, they called the Africans black for obvious reasons, which word is Negro. And then, dialects just morphed it into the slurs that we understand today and the terms of endearment that some people use today. So that's where it comes from. But Negro is simply the word for black. So I can understand him being Spanish. It's like, wait, I call a person of dark skin black and it's offensive and it's capitally offensive. So I think that he's coming from a different perspective on that. But there was something else I wanted to say, but I lost track. I lost sight of what I was thinking. So let me do this again.
Tell y'all what happened. So I'm like talking to and or dating this Hispanic dude right now. Like, you know, it's still kind of early-ish, whatever, whatever. Today, we chilling, just regular, out of nowhere. This motherfucker just like, Negro is a good word.
Oh, that's what I want to say. He don't respect her vagina. He don't respect her vagina. You see, when guys want to hit it or want to continue to hit it, they don't bring up controversial things for fear of losing out on it. For example, if I were to be given the grand opportunity to go on a date with Chloe Bailey, I would not bring up the fact that I never actually heard any of her music. Because that statement would risk me losing out on her box. And because why does that sound? What's my phone sounding? Because I actually want her box, I would not do that. Hold on right quick. Okay, stop. Whatever was going on. But it seems like he don't want it that bad. That's what I was getting at.
We should really bring that back. Bitch, what?
So when I was 18, I started dating a guy that I met online. and everything was perfect. He was literally like a gentleman. He opened my car door. He sent me money to put for gas. He was sending me money every time I was hungry. You know, he was literally a prince charming in everything that I could ever ask for. Even though things were going great, certain things started to trickle down very slowly, and then it started to progressively get worse through each month. So one specific time, I was doing my hair, and I didn't have the products for it or whatever. And he made a comment about Black girls and their hair type and how I should just straighten it. And I said, you know, like, that's really insensitive. Like, please, like, just educate yourself about our hair. Like, it's not that big of a deal. He got really offended that I said I didn't want to straighten my hair. And he was like, oh my God, I forgot that I'm dating a Black girl now. So, and he walked off.
Yeah, I don't know my hair, but the Jana and Kenny's.
Holy crap. I got to go back to this chick. I got to go back to that one. Holy crap. Wow. So first of all, when she described how much of a Prince Charming it was about how much random money he gave her. Let's start there. Let's go back. She got a lumpus chin. Let's go back. It went back too far.
I started dating a guy that I met online, and everything was perfect. He was literally like a gentleman. He opened my car door. He sent me money to put for gas. He was sending me money every time I was hungry.
How often were you hungry? So you're admitting that you can't afford food on your own or gas. So he's a Prince Charming because he sent you gas money and food. Okay.
You know, he was literally a Prince Charming in everything that I could ever ask for. Even though things were going great, certain things started to trickle down very slowly, and then it started to progress.
Trinkle me, man. Trinkle me, man. Trinkle me, man. Big timer. All right.
Get worse through each month. So one specific time, I was doing my hair, and I didn't have the products for it or whatever. And he made a comment about Black girls and their hair type and how I should just straighten it. And I said, you know, like, that's really insensitive. Like, please, like.
And she has straightened hair. When I pause like that, it's because I'm rubbing my forehead like Professor Xavier. Because and the reason why he said I forgot I was dating a Black girl is because Black girls have a reputation of being unnecessarily combative. After being the perfect gentleman, and by gentleman means buying you stuff, he decided to ask you to do something for him, and that is wear your hair in a way that pleases him. And in a way that obviously pleases you. And your response is, you shouldn't concern yourself with my hair. Well, he shouldn't concern yourself with your hunger. He shouldn't concern yourself with your gas. She was 18, to be fair. So were the Tuskegee Airmen. And how many Nazis did they kill?
just educate yourself about our hair. Like, it's not that big of a deal. He got really offended that I said I didn't want to straighten my hair, and he was like, oh my God, I forgot that I'm dating a black girl now, so, and he walked off.
Yeah, I don't mind my hair, but the Jane and the King situation hit different when you actually been through it.
Dating a racist? Tough. Like, I was in a long time.
I know you got big titties. Her attempt to put her, and I don't mind it, but she is making it a point. She's like, listen, I am going to make sure that everyone knows that I got some big titties. Because I'm mad at you.
And this boy was racist the whole time, but I never knew it. I never really paid attention to it because people when it comes to men, they lie so good. It's hard to not believe them. I'm not gonna lie. It's like they study a book of manipulating. It's like they taught manipulating from birth. And with that being my first relationship, it was hard. It was hard, man. It was hard to believe. It was hard to grasp that he was a racist.
So another time, he actually invited me to his parents' house, and I was driving from school, and he was about midway to my home, so I always would try to stop to see him. The first time that he invited me with his parents knowing, I came and we were just hanging out in the basement, and I was seeing his childhood through the lens of his parents' home. And we were just hanging out when his parents got home and we came upstairs. This was really uncomfortable because when we went upstairs, his dad took one look at me and could not look at me for the rest of the night. I had no idea that his dad was racist, but even me just trying to be like, oh, do you like this? Or trying to have a conversation with him, he would flat out ignore me. I was very uncomfortable. The next day, I told him, hey, I think your dad might be racist. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, oh, well, why would you put me in that situation? And he was like, well, I wasn't 100% sure, but I just wanted to see how he would react.
All day long, I love to speak to my in-laws.
That does suck. It does suck if you like somebody and their parents disapprove based on something that you can't control. I've had that happen to me, yes. Not really for race reasons. Well, I did when I was with the Ethiopian girl. And that was not even like a race thing. It's more of an ethnicity thing because we're the same race. But it was really just like a Black American thing. And especially when you're young, Black men are looked at something that women and girls lust after. So if your daughter is with a Black man or boy, it's because she isn't thinking responsibly. She's thinking with her vagina. Now, I didn't really have that problem too much, especially with non-Black women. And that's because, quite frankly, I'm a nerd. So my approval rating amongst parents is going to be a lot higher. But a Ethiopian girl that I have in mind in particular, she just didn't want to risk it. So I actually had to drop her off down the street. She walked like a block home, just in case her parents were looking out the window and said, "Who that dang nigger on that nag?" Like Steven from Django. In case, so yeah, that's like one instance it was like that. But really, even like the redneckiest king of the hill type stereotype white dude, they just don't want him with a pookie. It's not, once they realized I'm a nerd, everything was cool. So that wasn't a major concern. I do think that it's probably something similar going on with this father. and he's not taking time out to make the distinction on if she's Keisha or not. I think that a lot of white parents don't really mind if their son gets with a non-white or even black girl, just as long as she doesn't meet the worst of the stereotype. And unfortunately, there isn't a stereotype for any other ethnic group of women that is as bad as the Keisha stereotype. It just isn't. Now, for a young man to get with a Keisha, it means that he's thinking with his penis. And that is scary to think that your son, nowadays, that your son is thinking like that. It really is. Ethiopians really don't see themselves as black or black African because of the West Asian white DNA they got. DNA they go 3,000 hell. Okay, listen. I don't really care. You are what you are. And I get it. Your proximity, through the Nile and through the Red Sea, gives you access to other places, but that would probably mean that they're black as well. I mean, yeah, that's just how that works. Really don't matter to me. I mean, but I consider us the same race, not the same ethnicity. You may be a mixture of multiple races, but so am I. So live with it. I got Indian in me too. Just a different kind of Indian.
And it's posing a massive problem because all of them, including the black mom, has ganged up together to come against me and my husband. And all we want to do is love my stepkids and his children. We are currently in family court. There's all sorts of lies being spewed. And honestly.
Okay, so there you have it. I mean, she got with a man with children. I told you they have to pay a toll. And I couldn't, and typically that toll is you have to be significantly prettier than he is handsome, while earning roughly the same amount or even more. But typically that toll is paid in that way. Her toll is paid in the way of she's a childless woman getting with a man with children.
If I react, I'll make things worse. I love him, been with me through major weight loss. When I felt massively insecure, he has been my confidence. Absolutely love him. I also love my stepchildren, but I am losing the will to be civil. I don't want to hurt my husband's chances of winning access to these children, but also I don't want to be abused anymore. It's a real story. These things really happen. And we're going to be discussing this at my event coming up on the 26th of September. We're going to be talking about IVF and stepmotherhood. We're going to be talking about chronic illness and stepmotherhood. And we're also going to be talking about interracial dating and stepmotherhood. So I hope to see you there. The link.
What kind of crap? Women actually go to this stuff. Talk about their vaginas and step parenthood. Okay.
It's in my bio.
Okay, so search all those terms. You never know. You can't be giving black children. You cannot be birthing black children to anybody, okay? It's a lot of racist people out there. Okay, again, Trump supporters, 92% of us voted for, that lady. The rest of those other people are unaccounted for, okay? Unaccounted for. Like, there's no way that we don't know one or two Trump supporters. It's impossible at this point because he's the president, okay? So I know you're thinking, it couldn't be my person. It probably is. Okay, 90% black women, we voted the right way. Y'all know, y'all see the facts. That's an A on the exam. No one else got an A. Okay? So it's not really...
Okay. She does not win forehead of the week. I seen a 555 head today that I was just flabbergasted. And I had to say, now that's ahead. And I'm going to show y'all. Because she was ahead of the game. And she was talking crap. And she was on some conceited stuff.
Possible that you not with a trapper. I'm sorry. It's the facts is there. So go ahead, check that phone. Check.
Like, let me say one other word. Let me say something he texted me. Get this big black woman away from me. And then obviously, I don't even know what to that. Then obviously, he was telling me about his sister's gonna go and get an industrial piercing tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's so cool. His sister's a bad bee. You know, I love the way they look, but I would never get them personally. He was like, oh yeah, you're black anyway, so black people don't deserve it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is an industrial piercing? Somebody explain that to me. That sounds like some Gen Z crap. Is that? And what does it have to do with race? Because when I first heard this on Shay Shardays, shout out to her, I thought that it was. I thought she said this because I didn't hear that part, and I thought that like his sister went to the tanning booth or something like that, and then he said black people don't need it. I'm like, well, they don't, But what's industrial piercing?
That's also nice. He's called me a monkey before. One of his friends called me a hate.
Why is that glossed over? Why are you talking about industrial piercings when he called you a whole damn monkey? See the stuff that's forgiven?
No, WHORE, and he laughed about it. I don't know how we got to that assumption. One of his friends is also racist. No, most of his friends are racist. That's my bad. He used to send me like watermelon and fried chicken TikToks, and I'm like, because I'm black.
So at what point did she decide to stop fucking him? I thought industrial piercing was something. So basically, he's on some. These are white only piercings. You're a monkey, and here's some watermelon emojis, and you just stayed with it. Like these things have to add up. It's not like he did it all in one day. These things have to add up. Like I'm going to say, you are not qualified for industrial piercings because you are black. Monkey, monkey, watermelon, watermelon, monkey, monkey, watermelon, no piercings. Bye. Did it all happen at once? I mean, I kind of think he's racist.
So he sent me those on TikTok.
But since we're asking, are you just white? And he's like, yeah, no, my people come from Vikings, but yeah, I'm just white. And I was like, okay, cool. Moving on. Months later, I meet his parents, and his mom hits the corner, and she's my color. And I'm like, that's your mom? He was like, yeah, speaks fluent Spanish. Says she's Mexican. And then he said you were just white. Well, yeah, like I am, because we don't blame them.
And then he goes to my soul.
Okay, this is the same woman who's like, I'm a daughter of the sun or something, or I come from the sun, whatever crap she said. You don't claim your ancestors either. Now, granted, you didn't lie and say, oh, I'm all Viking, which, that is kind of like disrespectful to your mom, and that should be a red flag. I don't know how much of a race red flag it is, but one thing is clear. One thing is clear is that he don't want to reproduce with you. And that's something you need to understand. Because you are pretty. So he's with you for obvious reasons. But he don't see a family with you because he believes in having Viking children, or at least children that pass as Viking. descendants of Viking. And quite frankly, it's not going to fit the bill.
I'm only tripping because he's Hispanic. It's not really racist. I'm tripping. So, like, the question is, am I tripping? Or is this motherfucker, like, because I told him, you an underlying racist. Like, am I tripping? Or y'all agree with me? Like, let me know. Then he tried to say it's different because I said, grow. I didn't say, I'm sorry, are y'all really hearing the difference? Because I hear no difference. Then apparently I'm doing too much because it's just a word. It shouldn't offend me. It's just a word. It's just a word.
Okay, y'all talking about her eyes. Here's the thing. No, I didn't say that this one was pretty. I said the previous one was. But here's the thing. If she was prettier, y'all wouldn't really care about her eyes. Just call it what it is. Danica Marie has the same damn eyes, and nobody in her years of being on YouTube, having hundreds of people in her chat room, ever said boo about it. It's because those eyes don't go with the rest of her features for whatever reason. And I won't get into the science of it because, quite frankly, I'm not that type of scientist. But because it don't mesh well, as it does on Danica, y'all talking crap. So yeah, that's just pointing that out.
Right? I think though. But anyways, that was what happened today. And it's so much more stuff that has happened over the course of our relationship that made me side-eye this nigga like. But like, but
why does she just call him a nigga while complaining about being called a Negro? By a person to where that only means black in his native language. Okay.
Today was a line. Today was the motherfucking line that he crossed, and I can't get over it. I can't. I have a black child.
Like, exploded. A lot of people said that I should have left him there, but I loved him so much, I gave him another chance. So one day we were talking about our type and stuff like that, and we were describing the people that we used to be with. I was 18, so usually you're not, supposed to talk about other people that you've been with and stuff, but I did, and he did. So one day I was just like, yeah, like my type is like usually was dark-skinned men. And a lot of people in my family are dark-skinned. And he straight up said, ew, you like dark-skinned N-words? Like, those people are so ugly or something like that. I literally flipped out and, he apologized and stuff like that. And I was young and I was done and I took him back. His friend flew.
Okay. Wow, it's amazing what these dudes can get away with because they buy gas money. Because they spend money on gas. Wow. I gotta take this in for a second. So what I'm seeing here is a situation that and I'm pretty sure many of you have been in, and that is, you want to get rid of them on your terms. So there comes a point where you're with a woman, and most women fall in this category unless you're married or in a long-term relationship with someone that you're considering marriage with. Most women fall in the category of not wifey material. But they are good, some of them are good enough to bed, but not good enough to wed. And some of them are good enough for head and not good enough for bed. There is, which means that for you, you only want the relationship to last between the from the moment you meet them to the moment you're tired of sleeping with them. Now, the difficult part in some cases is when you get tired of sleeping with them, but they want the relationship to continue to go. And then once you've reached that point, that's when you are comfortable displaying your true asshole side. All of the stuff that you've been withholding because you wanted to either hit it or continue to hit it, you start to say. So from the way she's telling the story, these guys have reached that point. They've reached that breaking point. They've reached that point like, okay, I'm tired of hitting it. Now let me just say what's on my mind. I want you to straighten your hair. Now, he probably didn't say that when he was trying to hit it, but he's saying it now. And she's like, well, I still took him back. And he's like, well, what do I have to do? Say dark people or N-words? But she's still taking him back. Why? Because she's already made a major investment sexually that she wants to see matured. He wants to cash in. He wants to end, but he wants to end it, in a reasonably favorable way. And it seems like you want to have some fun while in it too. Good enough for humping, but not good enough for jumping. I like that one.
Confederate flags, and I would express the fact that I felt uncomfortable being around him because he also would say racist things, and I always got gaslighted every single time I expressed my concerns. One night, me and his friend and him were in a car, and they were smoking, and I guess his friend was wetting the paper a little bit too much, and he was like, bro, like, you're literally inward lipping the blunt. He also stood against me whenever I would talk about Black Lives Matter, and literally said that Black people wanted to be a part of something so bad. So we make organizations and support other people that are in the wrong and resisting and literally need to be killed. Like for part two, like.
He did not say that before he hit it. She's obviously prettier than this guy is handsome. And I'm not saying obvious because I've seen the guy. I'm saying by his behavior, He obviously don't have long-term designs with Black people, but she's prettier than the white girls that he has access to. So he took that deal, but because the value in her looks fade the more he hit it, now he's trying to end, and now he's trying to end the relationship, but now he's just getting a kick out of how much she'll put up with before he did it. And keep in mind, she's with him because he pays for gas. And food.
Like, this is too much.
Like, once you leave, everything adds up. Like, all of a sudden, the exact day that I left, everything started adding up. Like, when we was on the trips together, and people would be racist towards me, well, us, because he was with me, he would not say nothing, do nothing. It would not affect him in no type of way. At all. Even when I tell him about his racist friends, it would not affect him at all. He did not care at all. When I tell him about men who, try to talk to me, but were racist, he would not care about the racist part. He just cared about the men trying to talk to me part. Like, it was obvious, but
I wouldn't care about the racist part either. I personally wouldn't care about the men trying to talk to you part either, because you got big ass titties. I mean, that's pretty much what they do. It's what I did. So Black women do this a lot. And that is, there's only one correct answer with them. And it's whatever answer they expect of you. If I say or do this, you're supposed to say or do this. I was thinking of a story, but this wasn't a black woman. Uh, I was with a non-black woman. And when I say that, I'm not saying that to hide what she really was. To be quite frank, she was a number of things. None of them were black. And she got her feet. Um, she got a tattoo on her feet, and I knew that she wanted me to be upset about it because I told her I don't like tattoos. I told her do not get any tattoos, and she did it anyway. Even though she did it like months after I said it, but still, I knew that she did it expecting a certain reaction from me. So I decided to not react the way she expected. And of course, as predicted, she blew up because of that. It was this whole ordeal. I don't want to get into the details of it. So I shouldn't even say black women. I should just say women. They condemn predictability in men, but they also seek it. And they also test for it. It's weird.
So of course, to me at the time, it was not obvious. I had too much going on. Then when Marcy gave off racism, like it was plain. It was just plain in there. But like I said, it wasn't plain in there because he was lying and just making it seem like something that it wasn't. When the whole time it was racism. Every time I confront him about those racial remarks or whatever, he'll say, the favorite line they like to use, oh, I'm not racist. How could I be racist and I got black friends? I'm telling y'all that right now. If a white man ever say something like that, they racist. I don't care. Go lay it down. They racist if they say something like that.
So this was also extremely damaging to my security and self.
Okay, so somebody says something. I'm going to respond to this. It says, you aren't holding frame. If you had been an alpha male, she would have complied. This is why you need to buy a bad boy membership from Lucario. Okay. I don't abide by such foolishness because by that logic, if I were to submit to that logic, then I would be submitting to her. She would be the one who determines if I'm an alpha or not. And really, the entirety of the relationship would be based on if she chooses to obey or not. So she gets attacked too, and I'm not alpha. That doesn't make sense. Who's the alpha in that situation? Even if she didn't get attacked too, it would be because I would be considered an alpha because she is not getting attacked too, meaning that she is the alpha maker. I don't surrender to such foolishness, and I don't recommend anyone else does. I mean, bias course if you want to. But trust me, it's not going to yield the results that you want.
Because I had this feeling like, oh, this person chose to be with me, but it was more so just testing how much they could gauge the anger that their parent would feel for them rebelling against their wants. After years of us dating, I was always being snuck into his family house, and I would be snuck out before his dad woke up at a certain time. So I would have to drive home super early in the morning before his dad found out.
Basically, he snuck you in at night, is what you're saying. This is an okay scenario for you.
So we dated for like 4 years, and for that first year I had met his parents, and then he kept me a secret for like 3 years. And like the last year before we officially broke up, his parents allowed me to come to Christmas dinner. I sat on the couch with him, and I remember like laying on his shoulder, and I remember feeling his dad's ass just like burning a hole in my skull. And before Christmas, he was like, Dad, I want to bring my girlfriend to our lake house with her cousins. Like, I want her to meet everyone. And his dad was like, you will not embarrass me like that. So I remember like I had all my stuff packed, and I was like laying in my bed waiting for him to give me the answer. And he calls me and he's like, I'm sorry, you can't come. And he's like, I'm pulled over on the side of the road because I don't know what to do. Like, I should just turn around and go home. Like, but it's like he chose to go north and meet me. So now my other partner was another guy that I met in college. This one was like more covert. I actually remember my ex, the first one I was just telling you guys about, flying to Australia. I was doing a study abroad there. And I knew this guy, the second one from my class, and we would just text and stuff. And he was trying so hard to take on the role that my boyfriend at the time had. And I was just like, I just want to be friends with you. I just want to be friends with you. And it wasn't until I knew like that my first boyfriend was never going to choose, like he was never going to pick between me and his family, that I finally was okay, like I'm willing to give this other guy a try. Now this other guy was a lot more covert. He actually idolized Black culture. He was obsessed with Tyler the Creator. He loved like all of the fashion and the just the culture. And I was going through such a stressful period because he had convinced me to move to New York with him. And I did. My dad just bought me
This story is just dragging.
To have, and I ended up driving my car to New York. He had convinced me that because I worked in Manhattan, he worked in Brooklyn, that he should be able to drive my car. My dad also gave me like $2,000 that I could have in case of emergency. And he would constantly convince me to use the money that my dad had in savings instead of the money that he made for the money that his parents would give me. So I ran out of money, and I remember one day, like, he was driving my car home from work, and
Okay, let's see if I can understand this properly. During a relationship with this guy that you flew in to be with, you wound up spending your money and driving your car. And he was actually using your car. Can't help but wonder how many black guys she turned down so she could be in this situation.
he actually ended up crashing my car. Till this day, he has not paid me a single dime for the damage that he did to my car. And his parents were like, well, insurance should cover it. He also told me that, like, because my mom lived in an apartment, that we were probably just, like, low-income people. And then he ended up, like, randomly coming down to my mom's apartment and being like, oh, wow, this is a lot better than I thought. He had actually said some things like, we live in a nice house, like, you live in an apartment. And he would also send me, like, very damaging texts, like, from 6 p.m. or whenever I laid my head down to like 6 a.m. in the morning. And they would say things like, I helped heal a Black girl. He would also do like really weird abusive behaviors, and then I would like dissociate or detach, and then he would try to have sex with me afterwards. I remember like when we had to come home from New York, I lived with his family, and he didn't want to work like a regular job because he was working to be an artist. And I took on 2 other jobs. So I was like a yoga.
Okay, so he can become an artist. You was working 2 jobs. You see how they see you? Now let's just suppose whatever his art form is hits. Then he moves on and leave you ask for a white girl. This is pathetic.
Instructor / working at the front desk, and then I remember I was like training for a restaurant job that would work from like 5 p.m. until maybe 12 midnight. And I came home from my training that night, and he was convinced I was drunk, though I had nothing to drink. Like, I literally drove home, and he lived like 30 minutes from the job. And he like screamed at me and like just like, "You are drunk, I know you're drunk," like yelling at me like, "No, I'm not. Like, I'm literally sober. I swear, like, I'm tired." And when I had my eyes do get really small, I do look a little high, but I promise you guys, like, I was sober. And after I did the music broke, I'm so over this, like, I'm going to leave. And he, like, begged me to stay. So I came back inside, and, yeah, he forced himself on me.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't want to have sex. And he, like, did not care. So I just laid there. And he got so upset with me. He was, "I can't even sleep next to you."
So he raped you. I mean, it's not really called that when he's white, but okay. And then you forgave him, and you're gonna go to the next story. Let's hear the next story. Okay.
Like, left me in the room to just sit in my nakedness. There's so much more.
Okay, so let me just make sure I got this right. After spending your money and crashing your car and living off of you while you worked 2 jobs and complaining that you were tired after these 2 jobs, he rapes you and locked you in the closet naked. Let me see if let me just make sure I understand this properly.
And he like begged me to stay. So I came back inside, and yeah, he forced
Yes, you came back inside. So did he. That's when he forced himself in you. Yeah, okay.
himself on me, and I was like, I don't want to have sex. And he like did not care. So I just laid there, and he got so upset with me. He was, "I can't even sleep next to you," and like left me in the room to just sit in my nakedness. There's so much more, and if you guys want me to do a part 2, I can. I just noticed that this is getting a little long, but yes, there is a lot that I've endured as a Black woman dating white men, and I just don't know if I will ever do it again. Unfortunately, the circumstances would have to be very different.
Okay. It's funny because it's not funny. What happened to her is not funny at all. It's interesting because they obviously are flocking to white men at this point because the sisterhood has made it acceptable and admirable. So meaning that, you know, you win points in the sisterhood by doing this. And also they have attacked the image of Black men so much that it clouds the reality of what's going on with white men. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Because she said that she, you know, the one white dude was in high school, the other one was in college. It doesn't really seem like she's that old. I don't think that she ever really had an opportunity to experience anything else. But he genuinely felt that he was entitled to it. It's like, you know, I should get these things because I am doing myself the disservice of getting with a Black chick. From what I've gathered, Josh, by the way, for those of you who are listening and not watching, it says they love Pookie and white men. From what I gather, they really don't like either. But they are trying to use both in an attempt to get non-Pookie black men to like them. Remember what I was saying earlier about the thrill of, telling your ex that you have moved on to something better? That's essentially what they're trying to do with both Pookie and Chad, I guess, or Brad. The problem is that it's never really better, and it's always on both sides. It's always horror stories like this. But they trying.
Rainbow! It's always your rainbow! I'm doing it!
Okay, so shout out to Shay Sade for the merch. All right, let's see some of your comments, and then I'm gonna play the Forehead of the Week movie, and then our show, and whatever you want to call it. Then we'll move on. I'm actually kind of curious to see I'm gonna see if I can find the rest of her story to see if she actually did do a part 2. Septum Ring, this is the second time I've heard a swirler claim to be great. I always do like an innocent until proven guilty thing when the grape word is used, because I'm not with that. I'm not with that whole Jonathan Majors, Bill Cosby situation. I don't do that. However, in this situation, because she didn't actually use the word, I had to define it as that. I'm going to say it likely did happen the way that she described. But I shouldn't have to tell her that. Like, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't the end of the relationship. That's why I'm looking for like the second part of this video. Let's see. At you saw my soul shine. But for a lot of women, Black women and Asian women, white guys are the face of the fairy tale. And because women are more concerned with optics than reality, and this isn't just me talking, this is years of experience that I'm pretty sure that you all have. Optics is more important than reality. Image is more important than substance to women. Because of that, they tend to gravitate towards the optics of it. How many of you have had has been with a chick who don't mind if you cheat, just don't tell her friends? Therefore, she can keep the optics of the relationship good, even though the reality of it may not be so good. Okay, let me just go to her site some more. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit that like button. See if I can find a part 2. Pretty nice body. I can see why they pump and dump her. All right, help me out if y'all catch something I miss. Oh, am I in her thing or am I just in the search thing? Oh, this is just a search thing. Okay. Is this part 2 or the last one? Let me see if this is part 2 or the one we just seen. Because if so, this is the last video, and we're not going to see if there's a part 2. Let me scroll down. Wellness baddie guides for optimum health. Okay. Oh, this one is called "These Women Are So Thirsty." What are they letting guys grape them and lock them in a room naked? Let's see who she's calling thirsty. I'm curious.
A girl's girl only when so you're a girl's girl only when other girls are here, but you're not a girl's girl when they're not. So you're a girl's girl only when other girls are here, but you're not a girl's girl when they're not.
I don't know what that means. You're a girl's girl when only when other girls are here. Okay. Let's see. Gossip is a spell. Okay, so it seems like she only did the one video. The other video is going to come in the future, I guess. Let me just click that video and make sure that that's not the response. And read some comments.
As a Black woman who has dated white men in the past, these are some of the things that I've faced and heard in my relationships. One of them, my first white boyfriend always made comments about my hair, especially when I changed it, or maybe it was just like getting it done. I was wearing weaves, and I remember the first time he had touched it, and he was just like, "Oh." I got really insecure about it, and so I would never let him touch my hair when we were being physical or just anytime.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I don't understand why you have to wear fake hair." I was like, "This isn't fake, it's human." So another time, he actually invited me to his parents'
I see
house,
so many
and
Black
we
women and white
started
men
at
relationships.
school,
Every single one of
and
them don't
he was
look
about
comfortable walking
midway
with each
my
other in
home, so I
public.
always like would
What's going on?
try to stop
You know what's
talking to
interesting?
him.
And I just thought about
The
this.
first time that he
What
invited
she
me, and let his
described
parents know.
that she's going through with white fathers, white girls go through with Black mothers, except they still stay. They still stay. They still suck my penis. Yeah, it's really the same crap. Like, the mother don't approve and she's looking at the situation like, you know. And then the son just says, yeah, I realize now that she's like that. There's really nothing I can do about it. But the white girl just leaves her like that and continues to suck my penis. Black girls, that's a whole thing. They expect a lot. They just expect. All right, hold on. I'm gonna look up the chick with the curly hair. Curious about her too. Oh, she don't have her name on the video. That's okay. All right, let me see the other decent looking chick. One of the pretty ones don't have their name on the video. All right, let me read some of your comments. Oh, I got to get that 5 hit. Hold on. Or that 45 hit. It'd be videos of black women saying they marry a white guy, but have the pookies as in side dude to mess around with. Yeah, I've seen that. It's not just Pookie. But they do have like black men as side dudes. Ooh, this chick. She probably would have been like a crush candidate, just a candidate, if she wasn't married. So she's live. I'm gonna watch her for a second with y'all. And y'all will see why she would be a crush candidate.
Ready. So, as you guys can see, you know.
Ah, buffering. Never mind. All right, let me get the last video from Chantel so I can get the forehead thing out the way. Ah, here it is. Came up in the search thing. Damn it. Should have clicked it there. All right. So, on my first trip to Washington, D.C., I learned something interesting. And that is, it is illegal. I don't know if it's just in Washington, D.C. or all throughout the country to make a dome bigger than the dome on the Capitol building, which means that she could be arrested or her parents could be arrested for making a dome like that. That is a big dome. That is a big, big dome. That is a big, 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 big Klingon dome. Look at the look on Chantel's face. Chantel has a unmirrored disgust for such things, as we're going to hear in the video. Big dome.
I had somebody reach out to me. They have been reaching out to me in my DM because I'm not interested. And today they consistent. I said, okay, I'll answer. And they were like, am I disturbing you? And I said, I just said, well, let's check that. And I said, on the way to go get my hair done, you gonna contribute that? They sent a long paragraph asking me to.
You don't converse with men who you don't know, so how are you going to get to know somebody?
Come on, man, you don't know better than that. Cool person. Come on.
If you're on the dating market, you're going to have to converse with them. Like, what goes on in their mind?
Is to where like what's more disturbing about this? Look on Chantel's face. What's more disturbing about this is that she's demanding cash up front for nothing, or that she's impatient, because I'm pretty sure she would eventually get cash. Like in a relationship with a guy with an income, he wouldn't, he wouldn't mind, um, you know, dropping some coins on getting your hair washed and stuff like that. But why are they asking for a pre-relationship? This is weird. Somebody said, is Chantel married? Ask her. Ask her, you want to shoot your shot? What, you don't want your girl to see the message? Ooh.
Get my grass cut. I get my yard work done by myself. All of that is covered by myself. I have a nice body. I get that done in the gym. I have a gym.
Okay. So I don't know if y'all can see it because it's buffering, but she says, oh, and I wear makeup. In fact, let me get the non-buffering version. Let me download this. Here, give me a second. Now, she don't realize it, but when she brags about makeup and trying to put that cost on the men, and hair too, by the way, what she's doing is she's doing herself a disservice, because if men look at a woman's cosmetics as a liability, as an expense, then he's going to gravitate towards the natural beauty. He's going to look for naturally beautiful women because, quite frankly, they're low maintenance. And these are the wash and go white girls. To keep it a buck, what's a wash and go white girl? One that don't really require her hair to be done too often. She just washes it and go. She don't have to do things like luxury brands. Or this is the, flawless skinned black women. But she's like, listen, I have a very ugly face that I have to cover up, and you need to pay for me being an ugly ass bitch. That's essentially what the message she's sending to men. It's amazing that they are openly saying this stuff. All right. So, start download. All right, let me read some of your comments. She's the type of woman, she will stalk you after a one night stand. Yeah, I mean, that's not unusual nowadays. And that's because women have placed such a high premium on sex, and they've done so by withholding it. So when they finally do relinquish it, they expect the world from it. And when they don't give you when you don't give them the world, then yeah, that's when things get real. Sad and unfortunate times, but true. They don't just move on. They have a mandate, and that mandate is to give as little sex as possible, while at the same time receiving as much male resources as possible. And for men, especially those who consider themselves player, pimp, mac, or whatever you want to call it, those guys, they fight across purpose because they want to get as much sex while giving as little resources as possible. So it's a game. It's a zero-sum game that they play with each other. And in a situation like that, when she gets pumped and dumped, she feels like she loses. And that's why she's in this situation. That's why she's demanding all of this up front. She's demanding everything before you see the color of her panties. That way she can't lose. And with women like this, oftentimes you never really see the color of their panties because she's not going to put herself in a position to where she might lose. So they want to play the game that they can win. And that game is getting the resources beforehand and then not fucking them. Not fucking the guy that gave them the resources. Especially this one, because I think deep down she knows that she's not a genetically appealing woman. I think deep down she knows that. And which means that for many guys, she is automatically in the slump buster category. Hit the like button. But I downloaded it, so let's see.
I had somebody reach out to me. They have been reaching out to me in my DMs, and I was kind of ignoring it, just leaving them on red because I'm not interested. And today they consistently message me, and so I said, okay, I'll answer. This morning I had a shampoo appointment, and so I answered, and they were like, "Am I disturbing?"
It's amazing that it costs money to wash your own damn hair. Never had a shampoo appointment. I remember getting my hair cut in a barbershop in Dominican, and dude said I need to wash my hair. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just a dirty-headed dude. And he had his daughter do it, and that cost a little extra, but I think that they just wanted some extra bucks. And that was the only time I had somebody else, well, in adulthood, wash my hair. But yeah, it's not that hard. Just wash your damn hair.
And I said, I don't converse with men that I don't know. And they said, well, let's change that. And I said, well, I'm actually on the way to go get my hair done. You gonna contribute to that? They sent a long paragraph asking me to.
You don't converse with men who you don't know, so how are you going to get to know somebody?
Come on, man. You know better than that. As a cool person. Come on, man.
You're on the dating market, you're going to have to converse with them. Like, what goes on in their mind?
Explaining why they should do that. And they said now they understand the kind of woman that I am. On the level, I said, no problem, no worries, have a good day. I feel like this. I pay for I keep my nails done, keep my toes done. So nails, toes, every month. I get my hair done every month. This is a luxury style. I keep my hair up, right? So get my hair done every month. Nails, toes, hair. I own my home.
This is a luxury style.
I got an acre of land. I have to get my grass cut. I get my yard work done by myself. All of that is covered by myself. I have a nice body. I get that done in the gym. I have a gym membership. I clothe my nice body with nice clothes. And so I have to go shopping. And I wear makeup, which I enjoy. And in the comments, I don't care what you gotta say about makeup. But I also spend money on that. And so to keep this up, I also eat on a meal plan that I have created. And so for that meal plan, I have to go grocery shopping to eat off of the meal plan that I have created. And so all of this takes money. All of this takes money to upkeep this. And so why not have free conversations? And it is okay. It is okay if you don't feel the way that I feel when you were having a free conversation. But I think about this, especially if you're messaging me when I'm on the way to an appointment where I'm about to spend hundreds of dollars to get my hair washed, and I'm continuing to have this appointment where I'm spending hundreds of dollars on myself, and you're interested in me? No, I don't have free conversations. And I implore you, if you are a woman, if you're a woman who takes great care of herself, and does great things for herself and keeps herself up. Think about whether you're having free conversations. I treat my phone like it still has minutes and you're not using mine up. That's it.
Yeah. What about you? Take off the hat. Let me see your ear.
See my hair? What's up?
Alright.
Take off your wig. Let me see yours.
The narcissism of these women who think.
Okay, before we get into Chantel's commentary, there's a number of things that she could be doing. Really, there's two things that she could be doing. She could actually believe this foolishness, and she just doing that because, as I mentioned, she is a slump buster. From a genetic standpoint, she is a slump buster. I wouldn't smash now, but if it's been a while, I probably would. How long does it take for a man to become an incel? Like 6 months, a year? It seems like she's the one a man will call the day before he reaches the incel line. You know, like if it was 6 months, if the incel line is 6 months, then, you know, he'll call her like 5 months and 29 days afterwards, after his last sexual encounter. If it's 2 years, then, you know, it'll be 1 year and 364 days, and then he calls her. So I think on some level she knows that. Women know when they are the girl that they're placeholders for girls that guys really want. And in addition to that, she doesn't have like a delightful personality, which, I mean, you know, as far as her looks go, she really can't help it. And she is looking the best that she can. You know, she's not fat is what I mean by that. So I can't really knock her too much on that. That doesn't change the way that the world in general feels about her. And she has developed this protection against that. That's one thing that might be going on here. And it could be both. Another thing that could be going on here is just that she's trying to convince other women to behave in a disgusting way, thereby giving herself more options, eliminating the competition.
That they're all that's on a bag of chips. And look how much makeup she needs.
Says me. Says you, and that's supposed to mean something to me.
She laying down in the bed needing all this much makeup, but to her, she's thinking like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to pay to get my attention.
Got it! I always tell y'all to date yourselves, and I have not taken myself out on a date in a little while. Well,
look at her.
So when they have this on their head, it means that they're hiding something. Well, in her case, she's just hiding a big ass forehead, but it's funny because it doesn't really hide it because it's the same as her complexion. Wait a minute, is that a stocking cap? I don't know. It's something strange and nasty.
Makeup, y'all.
I just took myself out on a date earlier this week, but I'm going to the Millennium Tour concert tonight. I bought the tickets for myself to go by myself a while ago, and tonight is the night. I'm going solo dolo. I'm getting all dressed.
Women are never called losers. If a man was to say the exact same thing, he would be called a loser. There's a double standard, and I understand that they exist. But don't talk crap when other double standards come up.
No heels because I'm going to be standing and dancing the night away. And I'm just going to have a good time with myself. Okay, here it is.
She really look in the mirror and say, yes,
I look like a Barbie.
I look good.
I like a Barbie doll.
She looked at her shade complexion. Her face down.
Dance the night away. I'm so excited. Date yourselves.
Look at her face.
Or tomorrow. Take yourself out tonight, friend. Let me know.
Wow, Chantel is brutal with it. I actually didn't notice that. I didn't notice that she looks like a reverse raccoon until Chantel pointed it out. But yes, the area around her eyes is significantly lighter than the rest of her face. And I never put on makeup outside of Halloween, a day in my life. So I don't really know the science of it. So Chantel can pick up on it better than I can. But I'm looking like, oh crap. That yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Her face is both light skin and dark skin.
Oh my God!
And she's really looking.
Got a light skinned friend look just like a Klingon. Got a dark skinned friend look just like a Klingon.
In the mirror and saying, yes, I look good, and men are supposed to pay to have conversation with me. She said she's not going to waste her time to conversate with somebody she doesn't know. So how on earth are you going to get to know this person? My main thing is not to attack her or criticize her, but to just use her as an example as to why men, because these are the women you have to choose from in the West. This mindset.
Chantel get away with a lot. She just attacked the hell out of this girl and then said, I'm not going to attack her. I'm not here to attack her. I just called her ugly ass makeup face, two-tone complexion shit out. I'm not going to attack her though. Come on now.
That they have that they're all that on a bag of chips when they're not even nothing. Like, come on now, let's call a spade a spade. She's not that cute. With all that makeup, if you're not cute with makeup, imagine. Of course, we did a deep dive on her TikTok.
Awesome.
And look at this. In the gym with makeup. How unattractive do you have to be to have to wear this much makeup in the gym? To have to wear this much makeup in general. Look how much makeup she got on, y'all. Wait, let's zoom in on this. Look how much makeup.
I'm not trying to attack her, but let me just zoom in on how much makeup she has. Come on, you're killing me.
She got on. But then she have the nerve to be acting like she's better than anybody. She's acting as though if you're going to talk to her, you're going to have to pay. Like, what goes on in these women's heads? To me, it's like, and can you blame us for encouraging men to get to the chopper because it's just, the juice is just not worth the squeeze? And then you have women in her comment section gassing her up, making her feel as though she's all that and a bag of chips, when I'm so sorry. You are not to begin with, and your attitude makes you even uglier.
Part of my grief journey, or so I guess this is part of my grief journey, or who I am becoming as a result of my grief. I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, I called up all my friends and I was like, do you want to go to this place? We're talking about a certain place. I don't call up anybody.
Okay. This is supposed to be sexy. Now, it's obviously staged because she has lip gloss on and she's, in bed trying to pretend like this is how I wake up in the morning with my lips all already glossed. So we know it's staged. It's staged to be sexually arousing. Now, what do I mean by that? It's supposed to tantalize the male imagination to think that underneath that blanket, she's naked. That you're just one blanket away from seeing what she's got. But she's not hot enough to really make this scene enticing. It's supposed to be seductive. It's supposed to be alluring. It's not any of those things. It's weird and contrived because it's her that's doing it.
I just go. I don't ask for company or accompaniment anywhere that I go or want to go, I just do it on my own. I plan trips solo. All of my trips are solo because I'm not going to call around and see who wants to go. If I want to go eat, I'm eating by myself. I'm not calling you and saying, do you want to come? If I'm bored, I find a way to fulfill that by myself. And also, if somebody asks me, like honestly, today I woke up kind of funky. Like, it's just, I'm just not in this mood.
Pause her story real quick. Y'all look at the amount of makeup she has on her face when she is relaxing on her couch or bed or wherever she is. She's making a relaxing, just a random video.
Well, I can't really talk too much crap because I was talking about the girl earlier who wore the bonnet, and I was saying black women, present themselves at their worst. So at least she's not doing that. You gotta have something. So I will say she's not doing that. I don't like the fact that she's presenting it as this is supposed to be just like a natural scene. Like, I just woke up and turned the camera on my face and this is what happened. No, you actually, put makeup on and put your lip gloss on and made sure the angle was right. And then you took your top off and then you did that.
I know how much makeup she needs. So imagine what she looks like without the makeup, but she has the nerve, the audacity to be talking about how you gotta pay her for conversation. Why would you even want to pay for a conversation with a beast?
But if someone were to text me or call me and be like, how are you? I say, I'm good. I'm okay. Because the fix to that feeling is in me and not anybody else. And I'm finding that the less people I'm around, the less emotions I have to deal with. Like, if somebody doesn't feel like being somewhere, or if somebody else rolled out of the bed on the wrong side of the bed one day.
Chantel be looking at these chicks like that one girl's white father, or that one girl's boyfriend father was looking at her. Like, look at this look. This is the look of a white man when his son brings home a black girl. This is the look that they were talking about. It is complete and total what's that word? Content. Pay for conversations. I don't like to talk. Well, I did pay for conversations before. I didn't pay much. So in the Philippines, you could buy a Sprite and it costs like extra if you have one of the go-go dancers who are also prostitutes sit and converse with you. And yeah. And that just, and I did that a few times. So I spent at most $20 doing that in the entirety of my life. And I did actually hear some interesting stories, some of which I've told you all. In doing that. It works the same way in strip clubs here in the US. You want to know how I know? Because I seen it on the show The Wire, where Dee, the woman who set him up to get arrested, he met her in a bar and she was asking for drinks and conversations. And she was like, I'll drink slow. And so her job is to walk around getting men to buy her drinks while naked. So the concept isn't new. It's just that they're taking it to the street now, which is eliminating all their opportunities for real connections. Because instead of for a real connection, they would rather have money up front.
I don't have that because I'm by myself. And you get more perks when you're alone. I'm getting really comfortable. I'm getting really comfortable doing all to myself. And sometimes I think
there aren't any perks. I mean, there's perks for men because we don't have to pay to get a woman's hair washed. But there is no perks for you. I mean, there's the general content that a person has, but that's not a perk. A perk is something in addition to. Just like your paycheck isn't a perk of your job. That's just your paycheck. A perk is something additional. There isn't an additional thing that you get for being alone. It's just the absence of the negatives that come with people's company, but it's also the absence of the positives.
So I'm like, oh dang. What if I do this forever?
She should, and she is going to. I hear her dog in the background. She's on the right path.
I said what I said.
I know you don't like me. You want to fight me.
So a very masculine frame. So, somebody said something. Oh, American strip clubs. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, maybe it is. But I will say that. Oh, it's the lamest. I thought my screen is blurry. I thought you said largest is the lamest. Okay, I can get behind that statement. In California, it's just not a popular thing. There's this one place in San Francisco, and this is a gentleman's club, and I used to work by it. I used to walk by all the time, and I was like, I wonder if they fucking in there. I used to think that all the damn time. I wonder if they fucking in there. And it was like this real highfalutin, you got to be dressed up. And the entry fee was like 3 figures, maybe even 4, just to walk in the door. And it had the, like, I don't know if it was red velvet rope or the purple velvet rope, but I was curious about that place. I still am. I wonder if it's still open. I wonder if they fucking in there. I remember saying that. I've been to a strip club like 5 times in my life. And it has been pretty fucking lame. Yeah. There's always... Well, in America, I should say, I've been to an American strip club once in my entire 5 times in my life. In the Philippines, which is another place I went to, a place like that, it's not necessarily a strip club. It's what's called a go-go bar, and the girls are far, far, far less talented than any girl that I've seen in the US. So, and what I mean by talented is they don't actually go up a pole, and they don't do the spectacular visual feast that I've seen some women do. Like, I mean, everything else aside, I will say that American women do know how to do like pole gymnastics and stuff like that, and that's not something that you could see in every country. Filipino girls, they just stand there and 2-step in their damn underwear all day. I actually feel bad for them. I kind of feel like their feet hurt. They don't climb a pole. They don't do anything spectacular, and they can barely dance. So it sucks in that regard. However, you can fuck them, which really trumps anything that the American strip clubs have going on. Like, that one key factor puts everything out. That's one thing. Another thing is it's affordable, meaning that for the price of a lap, and I know this because the girl told me, for the price of an American lap dance, you can actually fuck her. Which I'm like, oh, that's a plus. That's a plus. She came up and told me, I'm in the thing, and the waitress came up and said, you can have any of these girls that you want. I was like, really? Any one of them? She said, yeah. I was like, even you? She said, yeah. So I jokingly pointed to the mama son. They have like a woman who's 40 plus in there. That's a mama son. She's like the madam of the establishment. So I pointed to her. She was like, no, you can't have a mama son. I was like, why not? You said anyone? She's like, no, she's the mama son. You can't have that. So I did that as a joke, but that's a plus. The women are almost always slimmer. That's a plus at the Filipino ones. And they're willing to do something strange for change. Literally. All the damn time. So here's the thing. Here's one of the things. They have like a tray of ping pong balls that they put on a banister. And it has 20 ping pong balls. And for $8, you tip it over. And the girls scramble for it. And I never seen anything like it. I must have tipped it over like 3-4 times. If I would have tipped it over one more time, I could have fucked one of them. But I just got so interested in tipping the ping pong balls over and watch the girls just trip all over each other just to get it. And you want to know how much they get? Because if you tip that over, it's $8, right? The house get $4. They get the rest. So it's 20 balls, and they split it, you know, I think it's like 20 cents a piece. It's like 20 cents a ball. Yeah, it is 20 cents a ball. So if they pick up 3 balls, they get 60 cents. To watch chicks tumble over each other with their panties on for 20 cents a piece was spectacular. I have to say that. I have to say I don't see that in America, which made the Filipino strip clubs a lot more interesting. You can make them entertain you in any way you so desire for a very small amount. I made them arm wrestle each other. I made them rock, paper, scissors each other. I made them race. I made one of them ride the other one on the back like a horse. Which is, you could do that in America, but it costs like a lot more. It costs a lot more. And so, yeah, if I had to compare strip clubs, even though I've only been in the Philippines for like 3 weeks, I would have to give it to the Philippines because you do more for less. But I think the main thing, the overarching thing, is that you can fuck them. And that pretty much trumps anything. Yep. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell your ass like I told this woman years ago when we was watching not The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz during a holiday. I have no problem being a big fish in a small town. I have no problem being the tallest person in the Midgetville. I have no problem with that. I have no problem being the smartest person in a room full of retards. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And yes, I have no problem being the brokest man in a developing country, or the wealthiest man in a developing country. I have none. Julius Caesar said, I would rather be king of a village than second man in Rome. Damn right. You think I'm going to kick it with Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and have everybody talk about how I'm a broke ass nigga? Fuck that. No, I would much rather be in the company of those who are broken than I.
don't want no problem, let your party do it.
Oh, let me mute it for the copyright strike. Like, and I'm not even trying to criticize her body or criticize. She looked like she was significantly overweight and she lost.
I'm not trying to criticize her body. In come the body criticism. Let's see.
A lot of weight because she has the loose skin in her thighs, and you can tell that her boobs saggy. So I'm not even trying to.
Well, I think that that's probably a result of like gastric bypass surgery.
Criticize her body. Good job to her for losing all the weight that she lost. However, it's her audacity. It's her narcissism.
She has large biceps for a woman.
It's her attitude when she's acting like she's better than men, whereas like she's not even average. She's acting like she is better than above average men when she is herself is not even average. Make it make sense.
No, she does. Chantel does have a point.
And this is what men have to deal with on the dating market. This is the kind of women men have to choose from. These below average women walking around acting like they're all that's enough.
And that's the thing. The market is the market right now, and the market is not favorable because what we do have is, as Chantel described, below average women charging an exorbitant price for their company in any way, shape, or form. You know, I told y'all about how I was talking to the Filipina girls and over a bottle of Sprite, and that Sprite costs like $1.20 or $1.30. It costs nothing. And no, I don't find Filipino women to be very attractive. However, you can guarantee that they are very unlikely to be fat unless they are with Austin Holloman. And they are going to be cooperative. So I would still give it to them. Now, Latin American women are significantly hotter than English American women, than Western women, by a wide margin. An extraordinary, it's a chasm. It's a chasm of hotness between the two of them. And it's still a lot cheaper as far as their company and stuff like that, and what you get. Because what this woman here is proposing, and this woman is less attractive than each and every single Latin American woman I've ever seen in my life. Like, what this woman is proposing is that you pay for her to get her hair washed and receive absolutely nothing in return. Brazil looks like America from the blogs I've seen. Well, then why are you buying their hair? Why in the hell are you buying their hair if they look like America? What American do they buy and put on a person to enhance their looks? Fuck out of here. Why are you getting they butt lifts? It's not like they out buying American tummy fillers. Like, oh, I'm going to buy me an American butt sag. No, you are actually going to lift your booties to look like theirs. Miss me with this bullshit. I didn't say Malaysia. Miss me with that bullshit.
A bag of chips.
I'm leaving the store on the way to the gym, and I wanted to share something that has been going on in my life since.
Her titties don't look saggy.
I have begun this I want to give the world my best self journey, or level up journey, whatever you want to call it. And I have on my gym clothes. I mean, my gym clothes are cute, okay? But I'm not wearing anything special.
To give the world your best self, start off with taking all of that makeup off, because then that is not your true self. So you're not giving the world your best true self.
There is not one day that I show up for the world, like I leave my home and I don't get complimented. People literally look at me in awe. There was a lady in there with her husband and she was like, "You are so beautiful."
Stop the cap.
I said, "Thank you." And then as
Chantel put that, she inserted the whole stop the cap thing in there. I actually believe that she gets complimented very frequently. However, I don't think that she is from a place where there's a lot of more beautiful women. I think that she's from a place in the world where she's the hottest thing out there. Just like me, you know, going to a third world country, I would be a big fish in a small pond. I think that she's a pretty fish in an ugly ass pond. That's what I'm gathering. I almost want to say Mississippi.
I was walking in the store before this happened. Someone stopped me and said, "You're gorgeous." I said, "Thank you." When I present myself to the world, I want to show up in that way. Like I want to show up gorgeous, beautiful, be in awe. And like people want tips, right?
She's saying the world should be in awe of her. The narcissism. You heard her, she just said, be in awe.
Most Black women don't get surgery. More food them, because they need it. They fat as hell. They don't do anything expensive or difficult to make themselves look good for me. Like, they need to do something.
Yeah.
So I don't drink alcohol. I drink water. I probably need some now.
Oh, good for her.
Water. I brush my teeth with really good toothpaste that whitens as well. I'm investing in my hair.
Take off your leg, let me see yours.
This week. I mean, I've invested in my hair already, but this week is gonna level up even more. So here's an investment. I do skincare, but I only get my skincare products.
How's hair an investment?
And it works wonderfully. Makeup Ulta. I hope that I'm helping someone who like really always wants to level up and never knew how to get started and never knew what to do. Give the world your best self. And what?
Ladies, is TJ Maxx level up? So what's below TJ Maxx as far as levels go? Like, what's below TJ Maxx as far as levels go? Ross? Like, yeah, I was shopping at TJ Maxx and, you know, now I've leveled. I was shopping at Ross and now I leveled up to TJ Maxx. Oh, no, Walmart. Walmart, because you're actually buying clothes like right next to microwave popcorn. So, yeah. And she's teaching this. Ha, she get her panties from Costco. She get 100 in a box for $59. Every now and again, because I'm single, I go with my homie that got 4 kids and stock up at Costco on toilet paper and shit like that.
This week is gonna level up even more. So here's an investment. I do skincare, but I only get my skincare products from TJ Maxx, and it works wonderfully.
My cousin went through a phase where she wanted to, what do you call those people that do makeup? It's like esthetician or something like that, or maybe it's just makeup artist or something. But she went through a phase where she wanted to do that. So for Christmas, I went out and got her a set from Macy's, though. Like, even as a gift to like a cousin, I still did more than that.
Makeup Ulta. I hope that I'm helping someone who like really always wanted to level up and never knew how to get started and never knew what to do.
Macy's is for old people. Well, what's for young people? I know it's not TJ Maxx. That's for damn sure.
Give the world your best self and watch people's reactions to you start changing. I love you, bye.
Of course, you're going to get attention if you have on that much clown makeup and gym clothes.
I said what I said.
I know somebody's going to get triggered. I know somebody's going to get mad. Somebody's going to say I'm attacking her and bashing her. Say what you got to say, but point out where I lied, though. Point out, timestamp where I lied. Y'all, why you do that? So check out the next video that popped up on the screen. Again, another entitled broad acting like she deserves the world when she's literally nothing. She can't benefit nobody's life. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Okay. Oh, did the other video pop up? So she likes to advertise the next video, but I guess it's down now, so I'm not gonna go back. But yeah. So salute to her. All right, I'm gonna actually check out this woman's page because she does have that forehead. She has won the Forehead of the Week competition, and I want to see what the comment section says to the video that she just did. So bear with me. This is not your average Joe 5. Okay. TikTok of the day. Oh, her name is Joe. I get it. So it says not your average Joe. I get it. Pun understood. Says something went wrong. Okay, let's refresh and try again. All right, I found it. Or at least I found her page. Let's see. City Trends is for young people. Well, I was a young person when I bought it. When I told that story. That story took place when I was a much younger person. Dang, that head though. I bet you she got some good head. Okay, she's showing off her ass. It's not all right. Let me see if I can find she looked like the brick face woman. Proof you can level up at any age. What do they describe as level up? So I can't find it. It's just her. It's just her shaking ass. She has one called Humble Herself while she's shaking ass. Like where's the video we just seen? I just want to see the comments on it. Oh, wait a minute.
Saying a Black woman confident with high standards, like how dare you? Let's be real, a lot of people are angry saying a Black woman confident with high standards, like how dare you? This is in response to me saying I have been body shamed because of my fit figure. And I have gotten this kind of response several times in the comments. And this is after my I Don't Have Free Conversations TikTok that I posted.
Okay, so this was a while ago.
Long ago. And in response to that TikTok, I have gotten comments that say I should just off myself and end my whole life. I have gotten comments that say that compare me to the Star Trek character. I've gotten comments that say how ugly I am, how I do TikTok no service. I need to just get off of here. Of course, forehead comments, which I did the same thing to Tyra Banks. You do the same thing to Rihanna. Okay. I really don't care about the comments.
They're hotter than you. At least Tyra Banks was. But yeah, a Star Trek character. No, they say Worf. They say Worf. You know the character. You might not watch Star Trek, but you know, because you've been called that before TikTok. That's for damn sure. Colorism is bad in our community. So with all the shit that people are saying, none of the insults she listed was her color, but that's what they go to.
About like my looks aesthetically, but I have also gotten several comments about how if I were a different complexion, then I wouldn't have gotten the response that I got.
Okay, so she said that was probably from other colorist women who complain about colorism, but nonetheless, it's like, really, that's all you took from that? Oh, somebody said
because as a dark-skinned woman, my confidence is too high, and me being a dark-skinned fit woman, I'm automatically a man, or I am a person who has changed genders because I have a fit body and because I've worked really hard for the body. I've also had people ask me about surgeries and all the things. Why can't I have really literally shown my transformation. I have leveled up in the last year and a half. I have really done all the work, and you can see it because I've been documenting my grief journey since my daughter passed away. And so it is like clear for the people who have followed me for long enough, like they can see, like, Joe, you have really changed your whole life. And so I still try to share. I can't take time out of the gym to go get surgery. But anyway, would I have gotten a different response is it my complexion? Like, would I have gotten should a dark-skinned woman not be so confident? Should a dark-skinned woman who is not be so proud of herself and her looks that God and her parents gave her? Would I be less picked at if I was a different complexion?
Wow.
Let's be
she
real,
just went straight to that.
Seeing a Black woman confident with high
like
standards.
the comment
this
there,
is in response to me saying I have been body shamed because of my fit figure.
The comment there had nothing to do with her complexion, but she just zeroed in on the comments that did, or maybe those comments didn't even exist, and replied to that as well. That's weird. See, women like this, they think about their complexion more than others do. See, I thought it was a real long time ago, but it seems like she posts every day and multiple times a day. All right, give me a second. Try hit the like button. I'll call you back. The gym calling. All right. How can I be sad when I built a body like this? Me enjoying being soft. Here we go. Finally. So this was.
I pay too much money for my upkeep to be having free conversations. I had somebody reach out to me. They have been reaching out to me. I pay too much money for my upkeep to be having free conversations.
Okay. Is this real? Who gonna tell her? Dang, that's a black woman said that. Y'all missed the point. She ignored him equals soft boundary. Actually, he ignored her. Like, or he stopped talking to her once he realized what she was on. Says she said, "I don't talk to men I don't know." Hard boundary. He says, "Let's change that." Equal ignored her again. She put a price on her time. Checkmate. Okay. I see what this woman is saying, and she brings up valid points. I don't really know how this worked because she said that he called her. And I'm thinking, like, so you gave him your number just to say that, just to ignore him? Or to say I don't talk to people I don't know? But let's just say he called her by other means. Let's just say he called her through the DMs. Which means that through her multiple DMs, she just picked out one guy at random to say, wash my hair. Or why would you respond to a DM saying, I don't talk to men I don't know? Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up about the story. You're an adult. The things you mentioned are things that you should be doing for yourself as an adult. Good point. People want credit for being an adult. Is this a skit? Yeah, people don't think she's serious. Is this for real? LOL. Oh, brother. Oh, sister. Dang. I gotta give it to black women. Like, the comments are suggesting that they are really not with the shit that this woman is on. Congrats on being an adult. The crazy part is he could have been a great guy with some money. Get to know people first because most men spend without asking babies. Oh, okay. So is this a man with a woman thing? Because it says you women are missing her point. Oh no, okay. Men benefit from being seen with a let's see, a curated woman. His social standing goes up because he is perceived to be able to maintain that woman or simply get access to a woman that looks well kept. Other men give him respect, and women outside think him to be worthy. It's obvious that a lot of women are giving men more value than they deserve by simply, holy crap, I gave women a compliment too long, simply by being seen with them. They are getting without investing. Just being seen with you is a big deal. Else men would do it. It did not benefit them in some way. They wouldn't do it if it didn't benefit them in some way. Wake up, ladies. Okay. This is that horror mentality that I speak on. Everything is transactional. So they're like, if I'm having a conversation, this is wild. Because she's asking for money to talk to him, not to be seen with him. Meaning through whatever digital form of communication they're using, they're not being seen together. They're not. It's not like he's saying, hey, I want you to come to my friend's wedding or something like that. And then she says, you have to wash my hair, be seen with you. That's a little different. But it's not even being seen with me. You just pay. So I can be seen with myself.
pay too much money for my upkeep to be having free conversations. I had somebody reach out to me. They have been reaching out to me in my DMs, and I was kind of ignoring it.
Larry by day. She is right. Your times become extremely precious when your life is in order. Love this. Okay. Her time is not precious if she chooses to spend it alone. But okay. A man's not responsible for your personal and professional upkeep unless he is putting a ring on your finger. You're literally just an adult. Oh, all adults have all those things and do all those things. Oh, they didn't say all, but okay. Sis, first, let me say you're beautiful. Holy crap. Okay. I wouldn't use that word to describe her because she's not an exceptionally attractive woman and sounds so accomplished. I love you. I love that you have set your value for yourself. A man should add to and never lessen your value. That's not your value. Your value is the amount something sells for, not the amount that you charge. So if I have a 1999 Ford Pinto and I say its value is $100,000, its actual value is what the top person pays for it. That is not her value because he didn't pay for it. So you take care of yourself. What did I say in the video? No, you don't understand sarcasm. Okay. Dang. Yeah. So they're ripping her in the chat room. She made a fool of herself, but she believes her own delusions over everything. So she's not going to hear it. All right. Let me stop right there and read some comments before I head out. All right. What are you doing if he's cooking? Okay, I think you're talking to. Pay for time if you've got a 9 to 5. I'm trying to see if I understand what you mean. So, in a very real way, a man, especially a man who's 9 to 5, hourly, is paying for time because he could be working overtime, which is at a premium now because there's no tax on overtime according to this new bill, which is a good thing. So you're right. If a guy makes $40 an hour and he could be making $60 an hour, but instead he's talking to you or dating you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then you're right. He is spending $1 a minute in this scenario that he's talking to you. He could be working overtime. So he's investing in that way. You want a greater investment. Yeah, she does. I don't like her makeup. Nobody likes it. It really makes you wonder how crappy what's going on underneath it is. So, from what I'm gathering, she actually looks worse. Or, excuse me, she probably looks worse, like without the makeup and everything. But from what I'm gathering, she actually looked a lot worse. Meaning that she used to be fat with a big ass forehead and everything that, we see going on with her face. So this is as attractive that she is going to get. And she's behaving in a way, she's behaving like a woman who's not used to being attractive. And she's measuring her attractiveness from where she used to be, not from where she is. Meaning that it's kind of like when a guy gets a raise and he thinks he's wealthier than he is. He's like, moving on up, moving on. But he got an additional like $5 an hour or something like that, you know? So it is that type of delusion. Word to Deanna Troy. For those of you who don't know, Deanna Troy was a chick that was into a Klingon. She was a human woman that was into Klingon on the show Star Trek: The Next Generation. Arab store clothes. Yeah. I have a story to tell about that, but I'm not going to tell it. Fashion Nova, okay. City Trends is so 2003. Y'all don't know how to stick to stuff. All right. It says she's rude and conceited. Yeah. I mean, so it does reek. It's kind of like a guy who gets muscles and thinks he knows how to fight now. It's kind of like that. That's what she reeks of. All right. You talked too soon? Yeah, I did. Whack 100. Let's see. Asian women get a bad rep for worshiping white men, but I think y'all queens got them beat on the white male worship. They do, because it's not reciprocated. So they actually look more foolish. Like white guys actually worship them back. So it's not really a worship, more as a mutual interest. Black women is just coming off desperate and as fuck. They only date black men out of proximity and necessity. I think they're worshiping white men out of a different intention. And that is so they can be desired like Asian women are. Black women have been trying for decades to be desired without being desirable. It's amazing that they have been trying to pull off something like that for so long with little to no results. She's a pompous scumbag. That's direct. Making the best choice is vital. Well, yeah, but you have to make a choice. I'm currently just dating around, dating multiple men, just dinner and dates. Did someone ask you? She's pretty to me. No, she's not. And you know it. You're just saying shit. Can you cook? Not really. All right, let me see. Move past the personal conversation. He should have spoken Klingon. I think this lady should do bangers. What, gangbangers? All these chefs are men, so it makes sense for men to be in the kitchen. Oh, okay. It's part of being better at everything, sweetie. All right, it says this means you need practice. Oh, bangs. Okay. Probably. I mean, if what Chantel is saying is true, and she hasn't really put on, or she went through like a change in her life, you know, whether it's through working out. Oh, she got a wrinkle on top of her titties. Whether it's through working out or through surgery or something like that, you know, she probably was one of these fat chicks that you see that don't even try because it's like, listen, you know, if you're looking at my fat ass, then you're not looking at my nails. So fuck it. If you're interested in my fat ass, then you're not, then nails really don't matter to you. So yeah, she probably like just started putting on makeup in the past year or so and don't realize the mistakes that she is doing. She's making and doing it. Hello, first time joining. Sounds weird from the off. Okay. Well, welcome. All right. I'm refilling the wine and running bath water. Why are you refilling wine? You're one of those people that take boxed wine and put it in bottles to impress people, aren't you? She's qualifying for a simp, sucker, idolizing mediocre pussy. Well, the problem with that is she's making men less simpy. I mean, there's only so many times a man can wash or pay to wash a woman's hair with no reward before he stops simping, before he realized that there's no future in it. No, Freeman's Journal. It says pay for time. By the square inch of her forehead, she should be a millionaire. What are you saying? If inches were dollars, is that what you're saying? Talk about capital appreciation. It says, no, I'm saying it in a female way. Look after yourself. Don't depend on a man to do it after you've been doing it for yourself. Yeah, absolutely. If I can't use a man, then he's useless to me. Next. Yeah. And next and next and next. I agree. Keep on with that. Call me in 10 years. All right. Can't argue with that. Shout out to the men who want to get used. No, I don't think that they want to get used. I think that they genuinely think that their situation is going to be different. Many of the quote unquote simps, I think that they think that their situation is going to be different. If they, you know, that they are just one hair wash away from getting between a woman's thighs, this woman's thighs. I think that they are missing one key understanding of women's psychology, and that is that they don't really respect men who do that. It'd be one thing if they actually fucked like 1 in 5 of these guys. Then, you know, the simp supply would continue to go. I mean, it don't take the red pill community to convince guys to be simps. It just takes women like Bum and her to just say, hey, you know, there's no return on investment, so I'm going to stop investing. That's just human nature. You know, every now and again you suck a dick and guys would continue to simp, but y'all don't even want to do that. So here's what it is. I'm not finna date a man that can't do anything for me. Then don't. Everyone gets used. All right, well, tell me when it's your turn. All right. Reciprocity is the balance of use. We wouldn't be using if there was reciprocity involved. I mean, that is supposed to be Venus nature, mutual exchange. Yeah, that has went out the window on every level. A lot of Martian ladies these days. That's his way of saying masculine women. Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side when it comes to cooking. Okay. Man wants to come home to warmth and a good home. True. Cooked meals, old men. I think men of all ages want that. If I can't use a woman's box, then she's useless to me. Okay, so what y'all talking about is what I was talking about earlier, and that is in the aftermath of hookup culture. And that's what we're living in. This is the aftermath of hookup culture. We have men who are trying to get over on women by getting as much box as they can while investing as little money. That's why you have somebody mentioned Lucarios earlier, so I'll mention him. That's why you have the Lucarios out there. That's why you have the game dudes out there. These are dudes who are trying to get as much box as they can while investing as little money as they can. And then on the flip side, you have women who are trying to get as much money as they can while investing as little sex as possible. So right now, the current mating situation is just a complete gridlock. You meet a woman and she's attracted to you, you're attracted to her, and even if she's not on that, she's worried that you might be on that. So she's going to keep the box closed for longer than she should. And he's going to keep the wallet closed for longer than he should. So it becomes a stalemate and nothing really winds up happening. And there's no solution to that in sight. I mean, I could tell fellas like, hey, just open up the wallet, because she's likely not going to open up the box. I could tell the ladies that, open up the box, but there's a chance I could set her up for opening up the box, and the guy, not even if, it's the wallet that she's looking for, because chances are it's not the wallet that she's looking for, but he's not going to open up the commitment. He's not going to open up the box with the ring in it anytime soon. So it is what it is. There's the trust between men and women is gone. And there's nothing we could do about it. Now, that being said, for men at least, there is hope. Because everywhere else in the world, women just open up the box first. You think I bought the stove before I opened up the box? That box has been open for over a year. Yep. Amen to good home cooked meals. No sex while dating, only marriage. You out your fucking mind. All right. Yes, everyone gets used, but we have to be on point to see it coming. Otherwise, we become victims to the game. Okay. Here's how I see the way women view sex. I see y'all viewing sex as something that's only valuable because it's valuable to men. Meaning that the only value that it has to you is not in effort given, but value received. I'm going to repeat that. The only value it has to you is not in value given or effort given, but value received. Okay. Take someone like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Let me look this up. Okay, so Mark Zuckerberg's net worth is $2 $267.7 billion. Now, that 0.7 represents $700 million. Meaning that he has, what is it? 267.7 times $1 million. Wait, did I get that right? Nope, I got it wrong. He has 267,000 times $1 million. Now, what does that mean? That means that if a person has $267,000 in their bank account, it would mean nothing for that person to give a homeless person $1 of the $267,000 that they have in a bank account, right? So that being the case, why don't he just give people $1 million from time to time? That's because he understands that the value that they receive from that $1 million is far greater than the value of him giving it. And that is how I feel that women look at sex, as something that's nothing to give but everything to receive. I repeat, it's nothing to give, everything to receive. All right. Zuckerberg, he was just ran out of Rome. Huh? Zuckerberg, he was just ran out of Rome. Had to have his wedding elsewhere. Europe don't give a fuck about his money. Why did they run him out of Rome? Yeah, Americans are different than Europeans, obviously, but yeah. So when I come across women like this with that understanding, I have to conclude that the internet has gave them a mating strategy. And that is with the understanding that it does have greater value received than value given. Then the more you give, the less value it has. So with that conclusion, they have, just sealed up the box and everything else. I don't know what you're talking about, sweetie. So you might be talking to someone else. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's see. Do I have any more comments? Nope. Is there anything else on YouTube that I want to cover before I close this box? Wait a minute. Is this that thing I want to show you? Hold on. No, that's not it. All right. So there's like a couple of babies, Asian babies, that look like Buddha, and they twins. They look like Buddha with like big heads and look like Easter Island statues and stuff like that. And they be fighting, and then they try to bite each other on the head. And I watch it every time, and every time I'm cracking up, and I don't know why. Like those little roly-poly babies be biting each other's head. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like nothing else to cover. All right. So I want to thank everybody that participated. And yeah, this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.